Bhagavad Gita as it is. Setting the scene. Although widely published and read by itself, Bhagavad Gita originally appears as an episode in the Mahabharata. The epic Sanskrit history of the ancient world, the Mahabharata, tells of events leading up to the present age of Kali. It was at the beginning of this age, some 50 centuries ago, that Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to his friend and devotee Arjuna. Their discourse, one of the greatest philosophical and religious dialogues known to man, took place just before the onset of war, a great fratricidal conflict between the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra and on the opposing side of their cousins, the Pandavas, or the sons of Pandu. Dhritarashtra and Pandu were brothers born in the Kuru dynasty, descending from King Bharat, a former ruler of the earth, from whom the name Mahabharat derives, because Dhritarashtra, the elder brother, was born blind. The throne that otherwise would have been his was passed to the younger brother Pandu. When Pandu died at early age, his 5 children Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, and Sahadev came under the care of Dhritarashtra, who in effect became for the time being the king. Thus, the sons of Dhritarashtra and those of Pandu grew up in the same royal household. Both were trained in military arts by the expert Drona and counseled by the revered grandfather of the clan Bhishma. Yet the sons of the Dhritarashtra, especially the eldest Duryodhana, hated and envied the Pandavas, and the blind and weak-minded Dhritarashtra wanted his own sons, not those of Pandu, to inherit the kingdom. Thus, Duryodhana, with Dhritarashtra's consent, plotted to kill the young sons of Pandu, and it was only by careful protection of their uncle Vidura and their cousin Lord Krishna that Pandavas escaped the many attempts against their life. Now, Lord Krishna was not an ordinary man, but the supreme personality of Godhead himself, who had descended to earth and was playing the role of a prince in a contemporary dynasty. In this role, he was also the nephew of Pandu's wife Kunti, or Pritha, the mother of Pandava. So, both as a relative and as an eternal upholder of religion, Krishna favored righteous son of Pandu and protected them. Ultimately, however, the clever Duryodhana challenged the Pandavas to a gambling match. In the course of that fateful tournament, Duryodhana and his brother took possession of Draupadi, the chaste and devoted wife of Pandavas, and insultingly tried to strip her naked before the entire assembly of princes and kings. Krishna's divine intervention saved her, but the gambling, which was rigged, cheated the Pandavas of their kingdom and forced them into 13 years of exile. Upon returning from exile, the Pandavas rightfully requested their kingdom from Duryodhana, who bluntly refused to yield it, duty bound as princes to serve in the public administration. The 5 Pandavas reduced their request to a mere 5 villages, but Duryodhana arrogantly replied that he wouldn't spare a enough land into which to drive a pin. Throughout all this, the Pandavas had been consistently tolerant and forbearing, but now war seemed inevitable. Nonetheless, as the princes of the world divided, some siding with the sons of Dhritarashtra, others with the Pandavas, Krishna himself took the role of messenger for the sons of Pandu and went to the court of Dhritarashtra to plead for the peace. When his pleas were refused, war was now certain. The Pandavas, men of highest moral stature, recognized Krishna to the supreme personality of Godhead, whereas impious sons of Dhritarashtra did not. Yet Krishna offered to enter the war according to the desire of antagonist. As God, he would not personally fight, but whoever so desired might avail himself of Krishna's army, and other side could have Krishna himself as an advisor and helper. Duryodhana, the political genius, snatched at Krishna's armed forces, while the Pandavas were equally eager to have Krishna himself. In this way, Krishna became the charioteer of Arjuna, taking it upon himself to drive the fabled bowman chariot. This brings us to the point of Bhagavad Gita, at which Bhagavad Gita begins with the two armies arrayed, ready for combat, and Dhritarashtra anxiously inquiring of his secretary Sanjay what did they do. The scene is set with only the need for a brief note regarding this translation and commentary. The general pattern translators have followed in rendering Bhagavad Gita into English has been to brush aside the person Krishna to make room for their own concept and philosophy. The history of Mahabharata is taken as quant mythology, and Krishna becomes the poetic device for presenting the ideas of some anonymous genius, or at best he becomes the minor historical personage. But the person Krishna is both the goal and the substance of Bhagavad Gita. As far as Bhagavad Gita speaks of itself, this translation then and the commentary that accompanies it propose to direct the reader to Krishna rather than away from him. The Bhagavad Gita thus becomes wholly consistent and comprehensible. Since Krishna is the speaker of Gita and its ultimate goal as well, the Bhagavad Gita as it is presents this great scripture in its two terms, the publishers.